Good evening everyone, welcome back to Budget Scenery Workshop. Hope you're all keeping well and staying safe. Okay, my previous video, if you saw it, it was the beginning of my collecting a Cities of Sigmar army, and the first mini I painted for it was a Fleet Master, and I thought I could show you guys a decent way of saving a bit of money, just if you weren't aware of it. And I looked into other companies that sell minis. So Games Workshop, obviously 28mm. So I got some elves, spearmen and bowmen from Mantic Games. But as you can see, the scale is a little bit off. It looks like he's invited his little kid around to do battle with him. Anyway, but the other little sprue I got were some dwarves. Now, once I put these on a base, they won't be too bad a scale for dwarves anyway. So I thought at the very least I could use the dwarves. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to be assembling and painting some, do they have, I believe they are, there we go, Dwarf Ironclad Troop from Mantic Games, and these were, I think they're about £4.79. I received an offer to buy these, so yeah, £4.79. So I'm going to be assembling and painting those today. So yeah, the elves weren't really to scale, so that was a bit of a fail purchase. But these dwarfs from Mantic, pretty good scale, I'd say. I mean, I've never got any other dwarfs, so I don't have any reference, but to my eyes they looked just about right. Okay, so I've got them all assembled, and I figured for the meantime these Mantic Dwarves will do, just until I can get an actual Games Workshop box set, but they'll do. But what I thought I could do, just to make this video a little bit more interesting, is, okay, so I have two regular guys with hammers here, but I've added a shield to this guy's back, and also a little drinking tankard, and give him a double-handed hammer weapon. This guy, I've clipped his weapon off and cleaned up his arm. The same with this one. So I figured two regular guys, a captain. I could make a custom banner for this, so I've got a standard bearer. And if I have a look at my bits box, I'm sure I've got something that'll do as a musical instrument. So I've got a musician. So yeah, for what was it? What did I say? Like $4.75 or something. I've got a doable, table ready kind of command and two extras. So that's a little unit there. So that's not too bad. Obviously, it wouldn't be, suitable for tournaments, but if you were just playing with a friend and they didn't mind, plus for me, this is just gonna be for me, it's just going to sit on my shelf just to look cool. I think this will do, like I say, until I can get an actual box set of dwarfs. Okay, so I'm going to be working on the banner next. So yeah, I decided to just make this this sprue more experimental and just make it into a kind of cheap command sprue. So all I did was just drill a hole in the dwarf hand, then made a a banner using brass rod and some cheap crafting beads. Just stick those on with super glue, and I got a pretty good result for reasonably cheap. Okay, so that's as far as I can get with the standard bearer. I think it looks pretty cool. So all I've done is I've just drilled out a little gap in his hand and cut some brass rod to size, then added some just craft beads. These were very cheap, and just super glued them in place. So this is super glue and baking powder. It creates just a very strong cement-like bond. So yeah, the captain character I'm pretty happy with. It was just using bits that was all on the Mantic sprue itself. For the musician, I'm not sure. I might see if I've got like some kind of horn in my bits box, or maybe have him carrying, I don't know, bagpipes over his shoulder or something. But yeah, so a very cheap command for dwarves. Yeah, I mean, they'll do until I can get an actual box set, like I said, but yeah, there we go. Okay, so next I'm going to be undercoating, then painting them. Okay, so I've got all the dwarf hammers undercoated black. What I'm going to go and do is paint all their boots Mechanicus standard grey. I'm not really going off any particular colour scheme. I'm just painting them what I think looks pretty okay. I'd like all the units to kind of match, but not look exactly the same. Okay, now I'm going to come back when I have all the boots done. Okay, so that's all their boots painted. Next, I'm going to paint their cloth areas with corn red. Just so I can get the underside done, then I can attach them to a mini holder. I will be back once I've done the red. Okay, so I've painted all the cloth areas, and what I'm going to do next is go over that with an Agrax shade. Once again, no real colour scheme planned out for these dwarves, just sticking paint on and hoping it looks okay at the end. Okay, so I'm going to come back when I've got all this cloth done. Okay, so that's all the shading done there, all the wash done that, sorry. So what I'm going to do next is over all the chainmail, I'm going to paint with lead belcher. Perhaps some of them have shields on their shoulders that I just stuck on as a little bit of extra armour as well. So I'm going to paint that lead belcher. So these minis were from Mantic, I believe, and if you saw my previous mini painting video, I also purchased some elves but they were quite, yeah, the scale was all wrong. But the dwarfs, yeah, they're a pretty decent scale. Okay, so I'm going to finish off all the chainmail on some of the shields, and I'll be back. Okay, so next I'm going to paint the gloves, the belts, and these little straps here with dryad bark. Yeah, these are all coming together really nicely. I'm quite liking the colours. And what I'm doing is I'm using the paints I've received with Mortal Realms magazine. That's quite a fun little challenge for myself. Okay, I'm going to be back once I have the rest of these painted up. Once that's done, I'm now going to go over the helmets and the other shields on some of the knees with Retributor armour. I probably should have painted these white first, but never mind. I'll just give them a couple of coats and I'll be back once I've finished that. Okay, so I gave them a couple of coats of Retributor armour, looking much better. So now I'm going to paint the handles of the weapons with Mephiston red. Now we'll come back when I have all them done. And next step is I'm going to paint the shields with Baneblade brown. Close to finishing these guys now, and they are looking not too bad. Okay, I'm going to come back when I've finished all these. Okay, and all I'm doing now is just painting the beards. So all slightly different shades of a mix of like red and browns. Then after this, I think I'm going to do the weapons. So I'm going to come back once these are done. Okay, I'm going to use Stormhorse Silver for all the weapons. Then after this, I'm just going to give them all a quick look over. See if there's anywhere I've missed or that needs a second coat, like the shield I think will need a second coat. Then after that, I'm just going to give everything a wash. Then that should be it. So I will update you whether I have missed anything substantial. Okay.